Okay, I think I'll do another series looking at more brands of blocks that I commonly find when I'm sorting through Lego. I've got another little batch of Lego today that had some other unique blocks in it. This one here, so I've got some other vintage non-compatible blocks here that kind of have some interesting history, so we'll go over that. But some of the other ones that I've found is BTR. Now, BTR stands for Built to Rule and is another Hasbro line. Hasbro also does the Creo line and has their own line as well that don't have the BTR logo on them as well. But you occasionally run into some that actually have the BTR and they actually have the BTR logo right on the embedded studs, and they're pretty good quality. And quite often they're built around other toys that Hasbro makes that have a military theme, so they kind of are military vehicles that you can build and those things out of blocks. So, and they're pretty good quality, and they actually look like Lego because they have the BTR logo on them. If you do a quick look, you'll think, well, something's embedded on the stud, and it is a short name, and it kind of looks like Lego if you just give it a quick glance. So some examples of those are this one here is a white one with BTR on it, and then there's a black here that's a little easier to see the logo on it there. And here's a larger piece. Again, it's probably for some kind of military-based vehicle or hovercraft or something like that, space vehicle. And you can see the BTR logos pretty well embedded on there. It looks much like Lego if you give it a quick glance from the side or whatever. And then the next one is Tyco Super Blocks. Now, Tyco, in the 1980s, they took advantage of the fact that Lego's patents were running out on their building blocks, and they made a Lego-compatible building block called Tyco Super Blocks. And they actually advertise them as, competing with Lego blocks in this kind of ad, and they come in kind of a canister like these things here. And here's an example of one with the Tyco label in the middle, and I've got a couple other examples. This one's a bit of a dirtier brick, but you can see the Tyco there, and when you blow it up, you can see all the dirt, but at least you can see the Tyco logo here. And they were probably as good a quality as Lego itself, and they competed quite well in the market, but I think they only lasted till the maybe the early 1990s, because I don't really see them being sold currently or anything like that other than on eBay, and most of those sets are from the 1980s. And they also make larger Tyco preschool super blocks that are basically compatible with the larger Lego Duplo line as well. And they again are of equal quality pretty much to Lego. They look a little different, but they're good quality plastic and fairly durable blocks. And then I've run into some other non-Lego compatible blocks, this time including some older vintage blocks that are kind of unique. In this last lot that I picked up at the store today, so many of these are come from the 50s and 60s, so they're almost as old as the first Lego plastic blocks, and they can be mixed in with Lego because basically they still look like building blocks, I guess, but they're not compatible in a number of ways. But one of the first one is Tente, which these ones go back to the 1970s. Let's see an example of those. So Tente blocks, they're got a wider, flatter stud on them with a hole in the middle, and then it says Tente around here, as you can see, especially on the black one here, you can easily see it. So, but they're not compatible with blocks because the stud is basically a little larger than the standard Lego stud, and it's meant to basically go in these holes here that are on the bottom of the bricks kind of thing. So you basically can't use those with Lego, but they made a bunch of blocks in similar colors to Lego. Similar wheels to the more classic vintage Lego as well, but they're again not compatible. But you can see that the colors in that are pretty similar to a Lego, so they usually get lumped in with Lego if they happen to be in a thrift lot and sorted by those people that work in the stores. And the next one is reliable easy lock blocks, and these date back even further to the 1950s and are made of more flexible plastic, not the harder plastic, ABS plastic that the Lego bricks are made of. And these actually have their name on them, an Easy Block name, and they were made in Canada. And some of them have the Made in Canada logo on them as well. So, example of those is these here. So they have more of a pin-like stud on them, kind of a smaller stud. And you can see reliable and easy lock block there, and I've got a blow up of that. So that's what it looks like blowing up, made in Canada. You can see under the reliable logo there. And they came in a old canister with round canister with lid on it and instructions, and used them to build various structures, windows and things like that for buildings. And mostly red and yellow is the colors I see them in, maybe green for the roofs, those kind of things. But kind of a classic brick from the 1950s. And another one that looks very much similar, and I think also was made in Canada, STA-LOX, and these date back to the 1950s and are made of also the more flexible like plastic than Lego and have large square studs. So an example of those is here. So you can see the large square stud, and they've got some texture on the sides of the bricks as well. And those came in a similar container to the reliable ones. Basically a round container with a lid on it and some paper roofs, which is similar to the other product. Here's a shot of more bricks with some windows as well. And there's an example of the ones I picked up today. So. And even though these are not Lego compatible, some of these vintage non-Lego blocks are in demand, and you can find them on eBay, and they sell quite well. I guess for people looking for the alternative vintage blocks for their collections. So that's what I ran into today. So I just thought I'd share those details with you. Thanks for viewing.